All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at an example of a multi-step equation. The first thing I notice in this is that we have three sets of parentheses. And not only that, but they're on both sides of the equal sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down and straight through my equal sign just to keep myself organized and remind myself that I have to keep my equation balanced. Okay, so in the first set of parentheses, all the way on the left-hand side, there's no number in the front, which tells me that we do not have to necessarily worry about doing the distributive property. However, on the second one, you'll notice that there is a minus sign. So what that really means is that there's technically a minus 1 right there. And we have to distribute that minus 1 to everything that's on the inside. So what I'm going to do for starters is I'm just going to simply bring down the first set of parentheses. And then I'm going to distribute everything in the second set of parentheses to -1. So -1 times -3t is actually going to be positive 3t. And -1 times +1 is actually going to be -1. So you could write that as 3t minus 1, or you could write that as 3t plus -1. Either way would be fine. Equals, and on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to distribute to everything on the inside. -3 times 1 is -3, and -3 times -3t is positive 9t. Okay, so from there we've accomplished our first step, which is the distributive property. The second step is going to be to combine our like terms. So you'll see that on the left-hand side, we've got 7t right here, and we've got 3t right here. So 7t and 3t are both positive, so we're going to add them together. That's going to make 10t. We've also got -2 and -1. We're going to combine those. They're both the same sign, so we're going to add them together. That's going to make -3. All right, on the other side, no function to take care of on this step, so I'm just going to drop everything down. Okay, next. Now we've got constants and variables on both sides, so what we're going to have to do is get them all combined together. All right, so in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start with the lowest number, because by starting with the lowest number, it always helps me keep my numbers positive and just easier to manage. So on the right-hand side, I see I have my 9t, and on the left-hand side, I got my 10t. 9t is being smaller. I'm going to start with that one. It says plus 9t, so I'm doing the opposite, which is negative. That makes a zero pair and cancels out. And remember, you have to combine your like terms. So 10 minus 9t is going to be 1t. I'm just going to write t. I'm going to bring down my -3, and I'm going to bring down my -3 on the other side as well. So now I've got all my constants on the left-hand side, all my variables on the left-hand side, and I have constants on both sides. So since the variable's on the left, I'm going to try to move the constant to the right. So the opposite of -3 is +3. That cancels out, and we do the same exact thing on the other side, keeping the equation balanced, and -3 plus 3 is actually 0. So in this occasion, our answer is 0. You can plug that number back in at the top if you choose to. You'll notice that 7 times t is 0 minus 2. -3t is going to also, -3 times t is going to make 0 as well. Here, let's just